Hi everyone, today we're going to go over how to use Photoshop to create a two-dimensional sketch of your reference photo. If you don't have Photoshop, that's okay, because I will also show you a free website that will do the same thing. So turning your reference photo into a sketch can be beneficial for both artists who rather transfer their image onto paper and artists who are learning to draw their subjects freehand. For the artists who like to copy or transfer the image onto paper, this is a great way to do so, where all the colors and values are stripped from the image to give a basic sketch that will help in tracing and knowing what to trace, especially when it comes to faces. And for the artists who like to draw their subjects, being able to turn your reference photo into a sketch makes it easier to draw, since we're taking a 3D image and stripping it down to a two-dimensional subject that's easier to translate to paper. By stripping the values that give the subject form, I was able to draw a more accurate sketch. So this is one aid that might help you in the final steps of drawing freehand. So let's get started. First, you want to open your reference photo in Photoshop. So open Photoshop and click Open. Find your photo and select it, and it should open up in Photoshop. Next, you want to make a copy of the photo because as of now, it's considered a background, and we want to be able to add layers to it. To make a copy, simply drag the background to the paper icon below. Now with the background copy selected, go to Image and scroll down to Adjustments. Another menu will drop. Click on Desaturate, and the color should now be stripped from the image. Then we're going to duplicate or make another copy of this image. The reason is because we need to work off of the layer that doesn't have any color in it for the next steps. Now we must invert the image, which swaps the lights and the darks. There's a quick shortcut. If you hold down the Command key and hit I, it will automatically invert the image. I'm not sure what the shortcut would be for a PC, but if you go back to Image, Adjustments, and then go to Invert, you'll have the same results. Once your image is inverted, we're going to go over here and click on the drop-down menu and click on Color Dodge. This will pretty much erase your image. Not quite sure how this part works, but now we're going to turn the image into a sketch by clicking Filter and scrolling down to Blur, and another menu will appear. Click on Gaussian Blur. Now, as you can see, the image is in sketch form, and you can click on this little triangular button and move it up and down to adjust the sketch to your liking. You can also go to this circle icon for adjustments and click on Levels to adjust the image some more. Again, you can adjust the image with these little triangles. This one adjusts the darker values, the middle one adjusts the midtones, and the one all the way to the right will adjust the highlights. There are more adjustments under this, but it's mostly for exposure. Now you can save the sketch. I usually change mine to a JPEG file because it's easier to print and it doesn't take up as much room as the PSD file, and when you click on the image, it won't keep taking you back to Photoshop in order to view the image. You might be asking, what can I do if I don't have Photoshop? Well, there is a way easier method of doing this that is free online, and that is with a website called iPicky.com. Click on Edit a Photo. And it looks like my flash is disabled. I'll just click Enable Flash. Okay, let's try this again. Click on Edit a Photo. Wait for it to load. Click on Open. Choose where your pic is. Mine is usually on my computer, so I click My Computer. My pictures show up because I'm already in my reference photo folder. So click on the picture you want. I think I will pick my little pup here. I'd like to draw this picture one day anyway. Now go to the left here and click on this magic wand because we are about to do some magic. Scroll down 3/4 of the way and click on Pencil Sketch. And then just like Photoshop, you can adjust the pencil sketch to your liking, whether you like bolder lines or very thin lines. Usually iPicky will choose a middle ground that they think will work best, and they are usually right. They also have all these other options that are similar to what you would find in Photoshop, but they really make it simple. Now we must save our picture. So all you have to do is click Save, My Computer, and then click on Apply. A new box will appear where you can name your file and choose the quality. Make sure you save your picture as a JPEG. Then click on Save to My Computer. So I'm not sure what this extra step is about, but all you have to do is right-click on your picture and save it. I'll export it as puppy and just minimize it to make sure that the picture saved on my desktop. And sure enough, here it is. My puppy is now in sketch form. So that's how you turn a picture into a sketch. It's a nice thing to know how to do, not just for drawing, but other projects too. So I hope this video helps. I think stripping the values from your subject does make it a lot easier to measure lines and shapes by eye. Sometimes those added values that give your subject form can really trick your brain in thinking lines are longer or shorter or more curved than they actually are. I know this was a tip that really helped me. I used to use the grid method years ago, and I ended up quitting art for a very long time because I hated drawing grid lines. But the grid method does really help in achieving a very accurate sketch, and it did teach me how to draw negative space. But I feel like it didn't really teach me how to draw freehand. But don't get me wrong, I still use basic grids sometimes if I'm struggling with something, but I don't use it anymore to draw an entire portrait. I just use it for the nose or if I'm struggling with the ears, so it is a very useful tool, and I wouldn't dismiss it entirely. But this idea of stripping the values in my reference photo really did take my drawing skills to a whole nother level and pretty quickly. And despite the bad rap that tracing gets, tracing can also really help in training your brain and understanding where exactly the features are on the face. And I don't think there's any problem in tracing when you are still learning how to draw and you're just using it for practice. Portraits I use as an example because there's not a lot of room for error when it comes to drawing a face, and naturally we tend to set the eyes too far up on the forehead. There's actually some psychology behind the reason why we tend to do that, but that's for a whole nother video. And if you want to see these videos, these are videos of drawings I'll be uploading soon. I would give the subscribe button a little tap. And it wouldn't hurt to give the notification bell a little tap as well, or otherwise this channel might as well be invisible. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next video.